It's just that it's been kind of quiet, so people are like all doom and gloom about it. And there's another thing that we're going to start talking about now that is another thing that people are talking doom and gloom with Stadia, and that is with Destiny 2. Now, Destiny 2 is a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's also a game that I feel is a specific niche for a specific person. Now, the current thing that Stadia is battling against in the media is that Stadia has lost half of its player base because of its numbers in Destiny 2. Now, Destiny 2 was one of the very first games you could play on Stadia, and that was back on November 19th. And if you look at it a week after launch, which is a good time to gauge the top of the top, because at that point, founders all had their stuff for the most part. And then you also had, Premier Editions getting delivered, buddy passes being given out. So it's probably the absolute top of how many people were playing Destiny 2 at the time. And at the time, exactly, Manav. And at the time, Destiny 2 had 19,000 players on Stadia, which, that's not a lot of people for a video game console, but it's, as Manav already mentioned, it's kind of an early access thing. And he's saying that people probably just didn't like Destiny 2. And yes, that's exactly it. Destiny 2 is a specific type of game. It's a first-person shooter that plays like a role-playing game. And when there are trouble times to get linked up into a Gambit match or a Crucible match, you can get some frustration and be like, you know what, I'm going to play something else. Now, before I get that far, where is it at? It's on here somewhere. Roll down. I swore it was on. Nope, it was on the Forbes article. My bad. So on the Forbes article, it actually gives you a breakdown because they quoted it from Charlemagne. Every player base on Destiny 2 since the week after Stadia launch, November 26, 2019, has dropped. This was around Christmas time when we're talking. PC lost nearly 60,000 players. PlayStation lost almost 20,000, and same with Xbox. And then Stadia dropped down 9,000. Now, people are looking at that as people are just leaving Stadia. People don't want to play Stadia anymore. And Destiny 2 is not the game to gauge that on. In fact, no game is, because not everyone likes every single game. Not everyone plays every single game. And if we're talking truthfully, Destiny 2 is... I don't have many friends on Xbox or PlayStation that play Destiny 2. And I have probably between, 80 to 100 friends on both. And yeah, it's kind of a small sample size. But if a game was really, really, really big, and this game came out about 3 years ago, mind you, and a lot of these people played Destiny 2 at this point for those 2 years. Yeah, it's not a good gauge of who's playing on Stadia, because at this point, there are many more games. People are finally buying games. People are getting new games for the claimable games over on Stadia Pro. It's never good to gauge a player base for an entire console. Now, you look at this and you see Xbox has 300,000 people playing Destiny. Do you think that's how many people are playing on the Xbox right now, total? Because whatever it's a YouTuber or anyone that's written an article like Forbes here, you're assuming by saying Stadia's half of Stadia's population has dropped because of their Destiny 2 player base. You have to assume the same thing for Xbox and PlayStation, right? But it's not the case, especially PC. You think only 500,000 people in the entire freaking world are playing Destiny 2, are the only ones playing on their PC right now? No. I mean, just like my Steam library, I have over 100 games. Like, I'm playing something new almost every single day. Exactly, Manav. Like, in Fortnite, it's one of the biggest games in the world. So is Minecraft, but I don't play either of those games. I've never played Minecraft. In Fortnite, I play maybe once every few months. That's not a good gauge of a player base either, and that's arguably a much, much bigger game than Destiny 2 is. So it's just erroneous to assume that Stadia's player base is based off of Destiny 2. Because me personally, I love Destiny 2, but I barely played on Stadia. And it's not because I think it runs bad on Stadia or I don't like the matchmaking on Stadia. It's just that I have so many other games that I'm interested in playing right now that Destiny 2 isn't just the one I want to play right now. Borderlands 3 and Final Fantasy 15 are the two I'm playing right now because those are the games I just bought, and those are the games that I want to just jump right into. Like, play a little bit of Final Fantasy before I went to bed last night. Actually, I was in bed playing it, and I just set up my Chromebook, flip the screen around, and play with my controller, and it was perfect. And that's awesome. I couldn't do that before. I would have to put on the TV, lug a console in there. I can do it without doing that. And assuming that Destiny 2's player base is the reason why Stadia's player base is down, no. Destiny 2 is not the gauge to do that with. All right. Now, you need concrete numbers from someone at Google to be able to get that idea, and I don't think we're going to get that number. I do think there might be an argument that if that number was good, we would know. Otherwise, there's a reason why we don't know that number. Maybe we'll know in the future. I don't know. All right.